Ladies, if you needed any more incentive to watch Big Brother's Little Brother today, I'm going to give you 3 small words. Jeremy Edwards Pants. Kicking off. Hello, welcome to Celebrity Big Brother's Little Brother. Coming up today, we're getting So Solid's Romeo and Lisa Mafia a Sunday roasting about what they think about the goings-on in the Big Brother house. There they are. Give them a round of applause, everyone. They just turned up for us on Sunday. Lovely outfit has gone there as well. Lovely outfit. Heat Magazine's Big Cheese Mark Frith's going to be taking a spin through this weekend's papers with us, says Mark there, in the foreground. We've been out and about getting your opinions on the housemates with the brand new Big Brother's Little Brother taxi. They were prompted to do that. And we'll be finding out how Jeremy Edwards would cope without his clothes. Is that a bad thing or a good thing, girls? I don't know. Before that, it's time for Little Brother's Big News. Hello. OK, this weekend, the Big Brother house. First up. At 2:20 yesterday afternoon, the housemates were discussing the dangers of bunk beds. With the safety of his fellow housemates in mind, Jeremy has a solution.
It's probably better if you come in with me and make yours.
Is that how it should work?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Thank you, you're very lovely.
Makes sense.
Otherwise...
Sharing is caring, right? Yes. Aw, you're so sweet. Thank you.
It's a simple solution. Just Caprice, share your bed. Next up. So well in rehearsal. Having been branded a bit of an old fuddy-duddy, John is keen to show to the others how hip he is with the knowledge of the current music scene. Take a look.
There's a really terrific girl singer, and I'm always falling apart. And who sang that one?
Yes. From a long time ago?
No, it's quite
Is it a Dido song?
Out of my heart, something of my heart.
Is it Total Eclipse of the
That's it, that's the one.
Yeah,
that's the one.
It's 20 years old.
20 years old.
It's not. No, Bonnie Tyler. That's the one. Bonnie Tyler. That's the one.
Bonnie Tyler.
That man, he's a psychologist.
Bonnie Tyler's as old
This
as
is
I
like
am.
unbelievable. Is it recent? Oh, it's so recent.
Yeah.
30 years ago. Bonnie Tyler, go girl. I'm telling you, that is unbelievable.
So, just to clarify, John, there's a brilliant new singer, Bonnie Tyler, who had the #1 in 1983. Finally, at 9:30, John kicked up a fuss when he realised this week's shopping delivery contained none of his favourite fizzy drinks, and what a fuss it was. Take a look.
Beginnings on their own. I'm doing nothing for Big Brother until the milk and the double coke comes. Nothing.
So it doesn't. Good idea.
There's no point getting upset about it. It's
I'm
what
not
you're
doing
saying,
anything, so do without me. A lot of you without me.
Okay. Do you know what I mean? Like it's awful.
Wow. And it all got very post-Watershed after that. John and Kenzie went out at hammer and tongs. Tune in tonight, 9 for the full 12 rounds. That was Little Brother's Big News. So, during the Task on Friday night's show, Evil Big Brother once again played games with the housemates. The stake this time was their clothes. The fate of Jeremy's wardrobe lay in the hands of Kenzie. If you missed it, here's what happened.
If you answer incorrectly, Jeremy will only receive non-clothing items. On a scale of 1 to 10,
Oh, that's so
how
hard.
attractive did Jeremy tell Big Brother he was?
That's a good one.
Honestly, do you know what? Everyone else was multiple choice. I've got to choose between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10.
Was it A,
Oh, fair enough.
7,
Spoke too soon, I apologise.
B, 8, or C, he failed to rate himself?
A.
Your answer is incorrect.
That's what I
Therefore, Jeremy will receive only non-clothing items from his suitcase.
Sorry, bruv.
You may now leave the diary room.
I don't really want to.
I'll get 4 cans of beer and a bar of chocolate.
Now, we thought it was very unfair that the public would miss out on seeing his wardrobe, so we've raided the offices of the Big Brother bosses and got our hands on Jeremy's clothes. The ones that the girls in the office didn't walk away with, we have, for your pleasure, now. Hey, cowboy, off to the ranch. You'll be the envy of Dodge County in this 65% polyester high noon shirt. That's a high percentage of man-made fibres. If heat gets to you, pop it open and let your pink cotton tee do the breathing. Cowabunga! How cool are you right now in those XL board shorts? Hawaii must be missing a surf legend. We're going to be chatting with Jeremy's friends Will Mellor and Ben Hull later on to see how he copes with no clothes. But time now to talk to two impeccably dressed guests. Please welcome Romeo and Lisa Mafia from the So Solid crew.
Hello. Happy New Year to you.
Very nice to meet you. How are you? Geez Louise, I apologise, by the way, before we go any further. So what do we make of the housemates so far?
So far, I reckon everyone's gelled in there well. You know, everyone's got on with what they need to go on with.
Yeah, it's all quite kind of sedate so far, isn't it? Apart from John.
John, he's an intriguing guy, you know. He's some people like him, some people hate him. I do both, you know. I like him and hate him at the same time.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a cool character. He needs to be in there, otherwise there wouldn't be no excitement.
Exactly. You know? Okay, now you both know Kenzie very well, don't you?
Yes.
So how do you think he's doing?
I rate him because come on, little guy, all on his own. He's used to being with his clan now.
It's true, but he's doing really well, I think.
One thing I like about Kenzie as well is that obviously everyone else is in there for their own particular reasons. Like you got people in there for obviously to do charitable reasons, people for profile. You know, obviously John's in there for the money. And Bez is in there for his car.
Yeah.
Kenzie's in there for obviously to gain respect and some independence as well. No?
I think he's trying to find a little bit out about himself.
Yeah.
As well, isn't he? He's doing a great job. Well, it's been a bit of a surprise so far. He hasn't exactly been living up to the streetwise image we know him for. Take a look at this.
I live life how it's meant to be. Don't think twice if I want to spend a G.
Do you mind me sitting on the work surface?
I roll black out cause that's the way it's gotta be. A lot of people see the click creep low with the best kids.
Thank you very much.
Blessed, we apart the rest.
Thank you very much for the birthday cake. Thank you very much for the champagne. I've had a wicked birthday. Thank you very much.
Keep it real, still real rough. And when the clicks show up, the love beats for us, yeah.
Can housemates ensure they wear their microphones at all times?
Sorry.
That's it. You know the guy. Are we surprised by these good manners? I mean, he has impeccable manners.
Come on, every bad boy's got to have manners.
Yeah,
it doesn't make him a real bad boy.
He's not necessarily a bad guy. He's not a bad guy.
It's definitely the case. When he goes home, the door shuts. It's yes, mum.
We used to do shows with him and that, and basically my little brother used to run around and take their shoes off and all the rest of it. He's a pretty standard guy, but he's down to earth and that.
Okay. Yeah. How do you think he's coping with the age gap? Because I think he's coping very well.
He blended in nicely.
He's okay. Yeah, he seems to be okay.
Okay. Well, he's 45 years younger than John. I know, isn't that extraordinary? 45 years younger than John, which became very apparent the other day. Take a look.
We kind of come from the underground garage scene.
Right.
You come from where?
Yeah.
Explain that.
Music.
The underground garage scene.
Come on, John.
Underground garages you work in, do you?
Yeah.
What is the underground?
Garage is a type of music. Ever heard of it?
It's a type of English music.
Underground is the scene.
Like NCPs.
It's a derivative of drum and bass.
He has no idea.
He doesn't know what we're talking about.
Pretty confused.
Now, Kenzie apart, I thought they were a bit rude there to poor John, because it's not like they know loads about, like, stallions.
No, but it's not like he wanted to learn about it either, was it? It wasn't like he wanted to, so...
John doesn't know anything about music, full stop.
Now, you know, you've said you love John and hate John in equal measure. We've compiled some of his most offensive moments so far. We'd like to take a look at them and comment on them. At number 5, John has been upsetting the housemates. Take a look.
Are you the totty?
Am I the top?
I wasn't talking to Jermaine when I said that, dear. Are you the totty?
I have no idea. I don't know who else is here. We'll find out.
You must be the totty. You must be the totty.
Favourite thing about John, for me, is the fact that he asks a question and then listens for an answer, and then just answers it himself anyway. He doesn't actually pay any
Agrees with
attention to
himself,
anyone
yeah,
else.
definitely.
What do you think?
Lisa, are you the tutty?
Nah, come on, mate, can we have that?
All right, next up, JMC, as we're beginning to call him, has rubbed Bridget up the wrong way by getting very personal. Take a look.
Let's just grow up, shall we? You're in your 40s, you've got a younger man...
I'm 41.
41, you've got a younger man, you've known him for 9 months, and you're enthusiasm over him like a 16-year-old puppy. So let's wait for 10 years' time. He won't be in your life in 10 years' time. Who's
Why
the kid?
not?
Who are you trying to kid, Bridget? For goodness sake, love.
That's terrible. I was so afraid
You are so hurtful. You are disgusting. You are hurtful. Stop it now.
Well, I'm just telling the truth. If the truth is hurtful, so be it.
Wow. Ouch.
I think he actually wishes he was like 16 still, maybe, so that he could play around on Big Brother.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what it is. He's got to be that.
Yeah, he does speak his mind as well, but at the same time, he could hold it down a bit, tone it down a little bit.
If you're in there, would you let it slide, or do you stand up for this?
I'd definitely stand up for myself. I wouldn't have all that totty.
I'll put some toothpaste on his lips. And
That's the thing is, that's what he wants. I'm sure that's what it's just attention, isn't it?
He'd probably, with us in there, he'd probably wake up with, like, toothpaste all over his face and stuff like that.
Burnt toes and all that
Yeah.
as well.
Burnt toes? Getting on the wrong side of you. It's like Gestapo stuff. Burnt toes. OK, next up, never unleash the wrath of the Greer. Take a look at this.
We're surrounded by a bit of land. We're not attached to any other buildings.
Oh, really? So an insect could make its way in here?
Yes.
You've arrived.
And I've just seen a bird.
I don't know what's the best bit there, the fact that he's quite fast or the fact that he just sounds like Muttley.
He gets his digs in everywhere he can. He gets his digs in everywhere he can.
Well, I just love his laugh. It's just... Perfect. OK, next up, John gives us a little bit too much info regarding his sex life. Take a look.
Yeah, let me see this.
Do you have a lot of sex with your wife?
Yes. And I'm a terrific performer. It's technique here. That's what you remember. It's technique. And I've got the technique.
No, John, you're grossing me out. Stop.
But that's the thing. I mean, if he just kind of gave a little bit more, I think it'd be
I think that was a bit too much information.
He wants to know, really.
I know, but at least people are like having a bit of a joke with him then.
Yeah.
Do you think he can
definitely.
survive the first round?
I do. No, I reckon he will. I don't think they like him very much, but he's good TV, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's why I think they're probably just going to
I
definitely
reckon he's going to win it, but I reckon he's going to definitely last.
He can't win it.
Yeah.
I'll tear my hair out. OK, and here's number one, the most offensive thing John has said.
Why don't you cover your forehead? I've told you that. Why is your hair as disgusting as it is? Why don't you your hair is awful. You've got awful hair. One of the best things about girls are their beautiful hair. You've got nice hair, long hair, lovely. Yours as well. Yours is terrible, like a boy's hair. Your forehead with all these lines on it, cover it up.
Don't look at me, I'm not responsible for what that man says.
He's just got his opinion.
Yeah.
You really can't. You can't grouch it in too much.
Just after that as well, because I was actually watching that. Just after that, Lisa stated the point that he's got more hair on his face than he's got on his head. So they got him back. They got him back, definitely.
Lastly, who do you want to win?
I want Kenzie to win, man.
Sure.
I'm supporting two people. Can I do that?
Yeah, of course you can.
Caprice and Kenzie.
Caprice and Kenzie. OK, guys. Thank you very much for coming on. We've got more from
Thank
you in
you.
just a second. As you've seen, John has managed to spend most of, and upset most of the women in the house with his, let's be honest, sexist comments. But is he just speaking from the heart? We want to know whether you think he's a sexist pig or, in fact, a role model. To solve this dilemma, we've got yet another BBLB exclusive. We have tapped into the UK CCTV system and taken control of a webcam in Covent Garden's Piazza. So if you live anywhere near there, or you're a tourist, we want you to get down there before the end of the show and pledge your support. We can go live there now as we speak. Our crew are there. There we go. Essentially, what we want you to do is line up behind them. As you can see, there's some early takers there. Obviously, just legged it from their houses down there in the couple of seconds it's taken me to say that. Sexist pig, role model. Get down there. We'll be checking back throughout the show to see what you think. There we go, proving that is live. What do we think, guys? I mean, I kind of know the answer here, surely.
Yeah, sexist pig. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just said the right thing.
Flat role model.
OK, now, you're going to go spotting for us now, OK?
Right.
Seeing what's happening in the house while we're on air. Now, normally we stick you over there with a cup of tea and some jammy dodgers or something. What we've got now is we've got like a little sticker system there, so you don't have to write too much. You can just watch and then stick as appropriate. So I don't know what that is, but here we've got, so if someone's being a bit of a crazy, we've got some crackers there. We've got, I think if someone's being a dog, you know what that means.
Yeah.
You know, a bit of love, fighting, being catty. So you want to take that with you, and if you go over there and spot for us, fantastic.
Okay.
Romeo and Lisa, everyone, thank you very much. Thank you. See you in a minute. All right, so we are 4 days in, and there's still been no snogging. With that in mind, today's Cool BBLB is quite simply, do you think there's going to be any romance in the house? Here's how to get in touch. OK, still to come, Mark Frith is going to be talking over the papers with us, and we're going to be on the phone to Will Mellor and Ben Hull about Jeremy Edwards' lack of clothing. We'll see you in 3.
All right, you lot, give Dermot a call right now if you want to talk about what I've been up to on Celebrity Big Brother. And be nice, please.
What does that mean? Chat with the audience here, and I tell you what, bitch. Coming up, I'm going to be talking to Heat Magazine's Mark Frith about the weekend's papers. But first, if you're a lady, you'll definitely remember that Jeremy Edwards will be without any clothes for the rest of his stay due to evil Big Brother. Let me hear you, girls. Yeah. Sexy stuff. OK, so how will he cope? Well, what we have here, essentially, are a collection of Jeremy's unused pants. I don't think they're going to be here for much longer. But essentially, he bought pants of a certain make and variety, and a size, I might add, as he was going into the house, just white and black, aside from these. These little puppies are Jeremy's lucky pants. Hey, bandito. Hey, it's a stick-up. To be fair, they are washed, so don't be looking at me like I'm some sort of weirdo. So how will Jeremy cope without his lucky pants, potentially for another 14 days? Who better to tell us than his Bezzers, Will Mellor and Ben Hull, who should be on the line right about now. Hello.
Hello, mate.
Hello, how are you boys? All right?
Yeah, good, you?
It's amazing, this marvellous modern stuff here. We've got a bit of a conference call. You two guys aren't on the same line, which is brilliant, but let's get cracking. Will.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Very well, mate, very well.
Good stuff. What were your first reactions when you heard Jeremy wouldn't be receiving any more clothes?
It's weird because if he was on the outside, it'd be different because he'd be going out and stuff. So he'd worry because he loves all his labels and stuff. While he's in there, he can just walk around in his gruds, so I don't think he'll mind so much.
Yeah, I mean, he just, you know, he's kind of been sharing a couple of clothes, and he likes spending time in the jacuzzi. He doesn't seem to be that bothered about it, does he?
I thought he'd be a bit more bothered, but he seems all right, you know, and he's taking it well. I think he's going to get a bit more stressed as time goes on, but he's taking it all right so far.
Sure. Benny, are you there?
Yes.
Ben.
Hello, mate.
How important is this wardrobe to him?
Yeah, really important. Really important to him, you know. I think it'd be all right, though. I think with the whole pants things, he'd just do that because he was a student, so he'd do that thing, you know, a couple of days one side, flip him over.
Oh, come on, no one needs to hear that. Will, do you think this could be a catalyst for seeing the angry Jeremy?
Well, there's a clue with Jez. You know when he's going to snap by his eyebrows.
Really?
Yeah, the lower his eyebrows get, the more angry he's getting. He's already snapped on John today. I've been watching a bit of the streaming, and he's already snapped on John, so I can see him getting a bit more angry as time goes on. And
lastly, boys, he's kind of... he hasn't got any clothes. The offer of lending clothes has been given to him. Now, obviously, Kenzie's going to be a bit too small for him. John, it will be like he'd be wearing a big caftan. So he's got kind of, I guess, Bez's clothes to choose from. Do you think we'll be seeing him in the kind of Manchester gear?
No, well, I mean, he's a good Jermaine. You could use one of her bras so you can get like a three-piece suit and, you know, accessories.
Yeah. We're going to go down that road then, are we?
Not really, mate. Sorry.
Okay. No problem. Boys, thank you very much.
Nice one, mate.
Cheers,
nice
mate.
to speak to you.
See
Take
you
care.
soon, pal.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you. Yeah, they've gone. There we go. That's our phone. OK, joining me now on the sofa to review this week's papers is friend of the show, editor of Heat Magazine's Mark Frith, everyone. Mark, it's nice to see you. How are you?
I'm really good.
Now, it must be difficult for you if Heat Magazine don't like the people that are in there. So, honestly, what do you think?
We really like them. We really like them. And please don't vote John out first. He's got to stay. There's always been a pattern, particularly with Celeb Big Brothers, the really characterful ones have gone first. Chris Eubank went first in Series 1. Goldie went first in Series 2. This cannot happen this time. Even if you hate him, please, please keep him in there.
How integral is it for him to stay in?
I think it's really important. I mean, these are great characters anyway. But you know, there isn't much to like about this guy, but there is much to kind of be entertained by him. I think that's really important. My favourite thing about John, can I quickly tell you that? Yeah. And I'm pretty sure the kids in the coffee bar will agree with me.
The fact you just described it as a coffee bar.
It is. It's turned into a coffee bar today. I kind of like the kind of Sunday morning feel it's got.
The daytime feel to it.
My favourite thing about him, the way his sweaty hair sticks to his sweaty head.
If for nothing else, keep him in for that. OK, as the editor, there's an unusual mix of housemates for your readers. What do you think? Do you think your readers are going to go with this?
I think so. I think John is going to entertain them. I think over time, Kenzie is going to become a real favourite. Because not only is he obviously a really nice guy, but he's the sort of person that everyone's going to go, about. And that really has an effect in this. Mark Owen, I think, partly won Celebrity Big Brother 2 because people went, every time he did anything or said anything.
Will they know who Jermaine is, do you think?
I think they'll be aware of her. I think they'll be aware of the fact that she's an unusual choice for a show like this. But I think the key thing about Jermaine is that it brings people in, or intrigues people who wouldn't normally be intrigued by it.
Sure.
We're going to talk about one of them in a bit. There was an incredible piece in one of the papers yesterday about her. And I think that a lot of people are intrigued by the fact she's there, put it that way.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have a look at the headlines with you. First up, let's take a look at the first one. You're going to talk us through this. This is Barbie Doll Bears & Co. Watch and wonder as feminist icon attacks the flatulent sexist, The Guardian on Saturday. I read this yesterday and I was really disappointed.
I was. I don't think you can take it to heart, though. I think there's now people who are going to be interested in the show who wouldn't normally. The Guardian previously probably wouldn't write about Big Brother. They are now because Jermaine Greer, who is probably to the team who worked there a bit of an icon, and they're, I guess, bemused by the fact she's on there.
What annoyed me was, when I read it, was the fact they felt let down that she was on, and I just thought, well, what has she got? She's got nothing to prove.
If the Guardian is saying they don't care about a TV show, why do you care about the fact that someone's on that TV show?
Yeah.
The whole thing I found was absolutely bewildering. I think the good thing for the team behind this show is they deserve everyone talking about this, and I guess that, you know, the show is now so massive, everyone has a view on it. I thought the view that the journalists there put across was just too extreme and wrong, and it was a personal, I feel, let down thing, rather than, is this a good TV programme? And yes, it is.
What about Jermaine's position? Because she can't seem to win either way, can she? I mean...
Except she's really enjoying it.
Yes.
I mean, she's winning in the fact that she wanted to go on here, and I don't think she's let down by it. The thing that amazes me about her is she's really keeping quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, she is talking a fair bit.
She's holding the Arsenal back, especially with John, isn't she?
There's a brilliant piece that Janet's Report has done in today's Independent on Sunday where she talks about the fact that, you know, she is kind of observing, watching people, just kind of putting stuff across in kind of little minute-long rants rather than the kind of 30-minute-long rants that Jermaine Greer is famous for.
We're going to go over to our cafe bar now, just to see. Anyone in the audience got any opinions on Jermaine? Who likes Jermaine in the house? Who? Over there. Right. Let's get the mics over there. Any specific thoughts on Jermaine? What do you love so much about a lady in that beautiful reddy brown or plum dress?
Well, she just got a bit of character. She just doesn't take any shit, and she's funny with it. Oh, sorry, she just...
I can't tell you how glad I am we came to you. No, it's fine, it's your opinion. But profuse apologies from us. Enough from the audience now. Thanks a lot. Keep cramming those cakes down, yeah? OK, next up, let's have a look at the next headline there, if we can, please. Daily Star, Big Brother shock new housemate. This is refers to the rumours that a celebrity partner of one of the current housemates will enter the house very soon. Now...
I hope not.
Oh, so do I. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel if that happens.
I think it'd be a bad idea. Big Brother's always prided itself on the fact that it doesn't copy other reality shows. The one reality show that's done this before, it flopped.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was a bad idea, and I don't think it would be a good idea.
To get a partner in?
Yeah. I think it'd be a really bad idea.
How do you think newspapers would react to it?
Well, the person wouldn't be famous, because none of them, I don't think, unless Jeremy Edwards is secretly going out with someone famous, I don't think any of them are going out with anyone who's that well known. Lisa Anson's guy has made a record before, but none of them really are that famous. So I don't think it'd be a good idea. I just don't think it will happen.
What if Rachel Stevens went in? Jeremy's ex?
Would be interesting.
Ah, that'd be so South Fork.
That would be interesting. I think she's probably cringing at the fact he's on the show anyway. So, you know, she must be sitting down thinking, what is he going to say? And I think he's kind of being quite gentlemanly about the whole relationship. He wouldn't talk anything about it.
No.
But I think you never know for sure, do you? When you're sitting on the sofa, you think maybe he will talk about it.
Yes. You've seen Big Brother. How do you think it would affect the dynamic in the house if anyone else came in?
I think it's just wrong for a show like this to have that dynamic there. I think that it separates people, it makes people more wary, but not in a good way. I just think it's wrong. And actually what happened with the unnamed other reality show that did it is things became a bit cosy and a bit touchy-feely, and it was awful TV, and we cannot have it on Big Brother.
OK, let's take a look at the next headline. It's the Daily Star on a Sunday. I believe it's a bit of all white. There we go. And this is kind of Jeremy obviously hasn't got any clothes, so he's in the jacuzzi. Jermaine's looking on in his basic direction. I mean, you know...
Jermaine loves Jeremy.
Yes, doesn't she? I love the fact she goes... But she does dissect him in the diary room. She goes, here's a lovely specimen of a man, isn't he?
Or, doing all of the Vic Reeves stuff at the same time.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know if many people know this, but Jermaine Greer actually wrote a book. It was mainly pictures, I think it's fair to say, about the allure of kind of young men, and very young men. And the pictures, and yeah, I think, well, Jeremy Evans is probably too old.
Really?
Kenzie, probably more the
more
age.
her speed, do you think?
Oh, you see her eyes light up when she talks about Kenzie.
I mean, the bosses obviously get the pretty people in there. I mean, do you think they're ticking the boxes at the moment?
I think so, but also I think that what we've learned in the last couple of years is to put someone in who's surprising, and Jermaine Greer fits into that, and also to put someone in there who's also going to appeal to the kind of lads, the cooler ones. So Bez and John Lydon on the unnamed reality show does that, I think. Bez is someone who everyone has fond memories about. They associate it with a key time in their life, and they're intrigued to know how he will react in that situation. And bizarrely, he's been quite normal, because on his video, on the entry show, he looked unhinged.
Especially when he was kind of rescuing the sheep, which I thought was terrific.
That was incredible.
Do you think he's going to warm up? What do you think? I mean, where do you think Bez is going to go?
I think that he's sussing things out for a bit. I mean, he certainly holds his own. That brilliant argument with him and John, where he was John, and I think the worst thing that John has probably said about anyone was kind of alleging that Bez wasn't a good father, based on very little evidence indeed. And Bez was upset about that. I mean, he could have been even worse about it, and he gave as good as he got. And I think that was the time, I mean, he's overstepped the mark quite a bit as John, but that was the time when really he was putting himself in danger. Bez could have reacted in a really bad way to that. Yeah. And I think, you know, he's got a bit of character and a bit of bile when he wants to, does Bez.
Now, Cool BBLB today is all about potential romance in the house. We know it's not going to happen. Your ideal pairing would be?
Kenzie and Jermaine.
Of course.
Of course. It's got to be, hasn't it?
That'd be absolutely amazing. You'll join us later on for that. For now, Mark Frith, everyone. Thank you, Mark. It is time to check in with our webcam again. Essentially, it's do you think John McCurrick is a sexist pig or a role model? We're down in Covent Garden checking this out. As you can see, hey, there are quite a lot of ladies there. I believe there's 3 people down there saying sexist pig. 1 person says he is a role model. Thank you very much for that, guys. We will be checking with that again later on. Still to come in part 3, you have your say as the BBLB taxi hits the streets of London. We'll see you in 3. Hey, we're back with our feisty audience. So much trouble for that. We're just going to go back and have a look at what's going on in the house at the moment. I think they're cooking. It's task-related. Take a look. There's Jermaine there, cooking a bit of pasta. Now, I don't know if the cooking's anything to do with the task, but their costumes, let me assure you, most definitely are. They haven't just gone absolutely mental with monarch-style regalia. There's Lisa with an enormous big crown on there. Wonderful. Woo, OK, let's check. Oh, you've been very busy here, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been sticking stuff about.
Lisa Romeo, as to what's been happening in the house. What has been happening in the house?
What's been happening in the house, Lisa?
What's been happening in the house? They're all gone mad. That's it. But no. Seriously, everyone's cooking for Lisa, the queen, aren't they?
Can I hold this up for you so we can see that at home? Sorry. Go ahead, discuss here.
Right, we got John. John was your first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, John. He's a bit of a whinge because everyone else is dressed up in medieval outfits and he's the only one that ain't. So
OK, that's the tier. What have we got here with the nuts?
They've all gone nuts with the outfits. I mean, come on, look at them.
OK, and the bazookas?
Yeah, all the women in there look sexy, you know. One in the maid's outfit and one in the queen's outfit, a fairy black number, you know.
And then all of a sudden, Jermaine was going really mad with the chopping board. All of a sudden, she started...
Yeah,
like
going
that.
crazy.
So we said she's gone crackers.
She's gone crackers.
Yeah,
There's
she's
a
gone
little
crackers.
kind of
And
rabbit
Jeremy
in there.
Jeremy, we couldn't find a sticker for him because he was actually picking his nose.
For long.
Ah.
I think
what
he
we've
got
done
to
there,
brain
what
at
we've
one
done,
point.
we've put the rabbit is the finger and the pot is the nose.
Yeah.
That's exactly why it's there.
Yeah.
And lastly, this kind of crazy behaviour here, what's happening?
They're all going, timing each other, going in and out the loo about a flag up and the flag down.
Apparently the toilet's blocked as well. Apparently the toilet's blocked, so you've got a whole lot of stuff floating
We might
around.
not know that. You could have just uncovered that for us. Thank you very much, guys. Carry on with your great work. Fantastic. For now, everyone. Now, we all know you love the show. We appreciate it. We love your input, your calls, your emails and your texts, but we want more. For the first time ever on Big Brother's Little Brother, you can now use your phone to send us photos and video clips. I'm so behind the times. That's amazing for me. We want your impressions, your lookalikes, or even just what you think of the housemates. And as this is Celebrity Big Brother, we'll be giving a prize for the best clip or photograph with a celebrity in it. Here's the kind of thing we're looking for. Steve Jones from T4.
Steve, do the impression, Bridget Nielsen. I've been practicing. You think? Dig it in. All right.
There we go. That apparently is his impression of Bridget Nielsen. OK, here's how to get in touch. Simply send your messages to 07834 50 50 50. 07834. Sounds like some of the kind of a seedy line there you need to call, but 50 50 50. Now, on Friday, we give you your first look at Big Brother's Little Brother's exclusive camera, the Fridge Cam. Let's take a quick look at what's been happening in the Fridge Cam today. OK, what's happening here? John's going past the fridge, having a quick look. Oh, he's intrigued by that fridge. Bridget's getting in before him. It's cutting it. Bridget's not messing around. What's she picking up there? That looks like either cheese or just butter. Is she just eating butter on its own? Who knows? She's now getting some jam to go along with that butter, so I imagine it's probably bread-related. I think she's putting some cheese back in there. God alone knows where she got that cheese. It doesn't fit there, so I'm going to put it there. There we go. That's Fridge Cam, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be back. We didn't need to ask for applause for the Fridge Cam. Now we just did, and they did it for us, which is very nice. But the exclusives don't stop there. Now listen, in our opinion, taxi drivers are the modern-day priests. They hear all sorts of confessions, and with that in mind, we've rigged up an ordinary cab with special cameras to find out how everyday passengers, what they make of the new crop of housemates. Take a look.
Listen, I've been out today asking my passengers what they think of Big Brother, what they like, what they don't like. Have a look. I've got to go as a fare. See you later.
Oh, John McCrig's a bit of a...
Loony?
loony and a bit of an ignorant pig, I'd say.
I'd like to give him a right-hander.
John is actually doing my head in.
Blazing Squad. Who's that?
Jeremy Edwards, he's lovely, and Jemima, what's her name? Yeah, we like her. I like Lisa. I really, really fancy Jeremy. I think he's absolutely gorgeous. Definitely Jeremy. Yeah. Oh, if we can just get Jeremy with all his clothes off, anyway, that's fine.
Some of the girls look like they could be a bit of trouble for some of the guys.
I think Bez quite likes Bridget, actually. Yeah. Bridget might get off with that young boy with a bit of luck.
Yeah, actually, I'm slightly worried about that young lad. I think he's going to get eaten alive a bit, mate, you know?
I've got Romeo's cap. On Friday, we gave you your first glimpse of the game that had our celebrity housemates and potentially the nation gripped. It's called Carpet Ball. It's a simple game of throwing a ball into a cup. Since then, the game has developed, and it even now has a set of rules. Here's the game in full flow.
Join in?
Well, yeah, what's...
3 balls each. First to 10.
He's the hustler. He's pretending to be no good.
You see what I mean? I'll throw the balls back.
Oh! Even closer.
Playing C shots at once there, yeah.
9
Just watch as you bend over.
for one go.
Watch it.
OK, so it's time now for the inaugural BBLB Carpet Ball Championship. Joining me are Romeo, Lisa and Mark, everyone. First to play is Romeo. Let me just give you some rules here, OK? We've got 3 different cups, as you can see. The cup closest to you get 10 points, then 20 points, then 30 points, OK? You've got three goes. We've got sort of pebbles here, so they're not particularly reliable, but in your own time.
OK.
OK, here we go.
It looks easy.
It does look easy. Come on, let's give Romeo a bit of support, everyone. Come on. Oh, he's got 20 points!
I was aiming for that one and it went in that one.
Never seen before. It's extraordinary.
Easy, easy. Anyway.
Already you're a winner in our eyes.
Let me try it again.
Oh, here he goes. Oh, almost. But he's getting to know the turf here.
Little slam dunk.
Oh, a very, very respectable 20 points. Lisa, now, before we go any further, Caprice has an interesting tactic that you might want to see.
Oh, excellent.
Let's take a look.
Now that's a shot.
Here we go.
Have you seen her play ping pong? Something else.
It's a good technique.
Oh,
Right, I can do that.
How do you feel about this?
I'm all right, because I got my own one.
You're not allowed.
OK. Do it.
I'm joking.
3.
Right. I'll go for 30 because I'm good.
You're not going to go between the legs?
No, turn around. Go.
I never thought I'd have the opportunity to say that to you.
Emma. All right, I've got my own one because I'm
side saddle?
exclusive here. Right, ready?
Go for it.
Oh! Really? See that? That was even better than that. So, all right, 2 more.
In the zone now, Lisa. Oh.
All right.
Curve.
I've got it. Caprice style. Here we go.
Oh, sorry. Lastly, Roman god Mark Frith enters the auditorium.
I've been given tips. Apparently it's throw in, not roll in. Roll in just doesn't work.
OK.
OK, right,
That was unlucky, Mark. No, that was unlucky, to be fair. He'd give us good press. Oh, Mark, come on.
Go for the last
You've
one.
got to go for 30 points now, Mark. Hang on a second.
Does that count?
Does that count?
Are we giving that? We are indeed giving it with 30 points. Mark Frith is our winner. OK, absolutely extraordinary. OK, still to come. Our final look at the webcam and its official announcement. John McCurrick, sexist pig or role model. We'll see you in 3. Can we just come over here for just a second? We got this in Today Fresh. You haven't touched any of that carrot cake.
Not into carrot.
Would you please just for my sake, would you please just have a little bit of bite of that? It's ruined it now. No one's going to touch that. Great. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're very well. Still to come, cool BBLB. But first, time to find out the opinion of the Nationis. Let's go back to our webcam in Covent Garden's Piazza, see how many people have come out to voice their opinion. He gods. We asked you, do you think John McCurrick is a sexist pig or a role model? Earlier on, the score stood at 3 to sexist pig and 1 for role model. I think the person who thinks he was a role model has now disappeared because it appears to be just 3 people saying John's a sexist pig and no one there, apart from our very own BBLB staff there, thinks he's a role model. Apologies for the subliminal messaging. That's probably just coming up as watch BBLB or something like that. Now, anyway, more of these kind of webcam fiasco things that they come with. Do you think they're a good idea? Good. I went out on a limb there. I wasn't entirely sure myself. Now then, take a look at this face. Hello, you. This gentleman's part of our audience. If you would like to be part of our audience, you can as well. Just give us a call on this number. It's 09011 200 300, 09011 200 300, or you can send an email to the longest email address in the history of the universe, bblb.audience@bigbrother.endemoluk.com. You could probably get here faster than it would take to type that, but bblb.audience@bigbrother.endemoluk.com. And please include the date. Earlier on today, we set you today's cool BBLB, which, do you think there'll be any romance in the house? We're still joined by Romeo, Lisa, and, of course, Mark Frith, everybody. Oh. Any romance in the house? You're saying Kenzie and Jermaine. Lisa, have you got any opinion yourself? Who would you like to see?
I'd like to see John get some romance. Come on. I mean, even though he's been really horrible, I think, come on, someone's got to soften him up. I don't know.
John and Lisa Ray Anson, maybe?
No.
Woo!
I reckon Bridget and Bez
You
need
think
to get
Bridget
they need
and
to get together and have a laugh.
Cracking combinations there. Let's go to the phones. We should have Abeen from Belfast. Hello, Abeen.
Hiya.
Hello, Abeen. How are you?
I'm all right, how are you?
I'm very well. You sound quite breathless. Have you been out for a run or something?
No, I've got tonsillitis.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, me. Abeen, what do you think?
I think there's going to be romance between Bridget and Jeremy.
Now, you base this on what?
Because she's already admitted that she fancies him, so he's just going to play up that, and he's being really tactical, because if he plays up that, then she'll not put him out, because obviously she fancies him.
I mean, your theory, therefore, is if a woman says she fancies a man, the man will just go and get it.
Yep.
Well, there's probably a lot of truth in that, to be fair. What do we think, Jeremy and Bridget?
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, Bridget, the Big Brother experience wouldn't be complete for her unless she pulled a man, I think it would be fair to say. If she came out of there and she hadn't pulled anyone, she'd be very disappointed to think, well, that's a waste of time then.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important for her that she will. Kenzie more than Jeremy, I don't know, I think maybe she thinks Kenzie is probably a bit too young. And I think already she can see the look of dread in Kenzie's eyes whenever she comes anywhere near. Have you seen that? Quite incredible.
There is genuine fear in the poor lad's eyes, isn't there?
With most things that are going on there is, but particularly if it's to do with Bridget.
Yeah, absolutely. OK, thank you, Abeen.
OK.
Seb in Southampton's up next. Hello, Seb.
Hiya, Dermot.
How you doing?
I'm cool. I was watching the live feed last night, and if you'd asked me yesterday if there's any romance, I'd have said definitely not. But they were playing Spin the Bottle, and Jeremy and Caprice got all giggly whenever they got spun to, and wouldn't look at each other like little teenagers. So now I'm thinking there might be something between them.
This is it. I mean, it's the obvious choice, but it is a choice, isn't it? I mean, that's the thing. They are two good-looking people. What do we think?
Yeah, I reckon that. Actually, you're right.
Yeah.
I think that one could be maybe the #1 romance.
Yeah, obviously they make a good couple as well, you know. Obviously, both of their personalities, squeaky clean kind of thing.
I mean, they're not Peter and Jordan, are they? They're not.
Yeah.
They're not of that ilk. That's the thing. Jeremy's quite a private person. Do you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he also says he's got a girlfriend. I mean, he doesn't like to talk about it very much. I think he's been a little burnt by the fact that he's been quite public about his relationships. So I think there is a girlfriend. So, but no, I totally agree with what you're saying. There is a chemistry there. You can tell there's kind of looks and there's something. They like each other at least.
If both of them were single, I think it would be a perfect, a marriage almost made in heaven.
I think so.
Audience, any thoughts on that with Jeremy and Caprice? Anyone at all other than the girl in the plum dress? Yeah, there's got a girl at the front down here.
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely. We need another romance in the house. We need a bit of excitement, and Jeremy and Caprice, absolutely, definitely.
Sorry, my cameraman got in the way of me seeing your lovely face, but thank you very much for that point. OK, next up, Natalie in Bournemouth. Thanks, by the way, Seb. Hello, Natalie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What are your thoughts on the romance conundrum?
I reckon if one of Girls Aloud went into the Big Brother house,
I'm hearing you.
Mackenzie would be really funny because all of places got fancy Girls Aloud.
Yeah, I think if any of Girls Aloud were in the house, any of the boys would be kind of like, you know...
Yeah, but Kenzie's always going on about them, so I reckon it'll be very interesting viewing.
Which Girls Aloud are we talking about here, Natalie?
Nadine or Cheryl, I think he likes best.
You're thinking Nadine or Cheryl?
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, if anyone does go in the house, if that was what the papers are reporting, do you think Girls Aloud would stir it up?
Yeah, I reckon they'd be really good in there.
Can you imagine if all of them went in? That would be just extraordinary.
Yeah.
Wow, get your earplugs in there. Blimey. Yeah, he is absolutely obsessed by Girls Aloud.
Is he?
The biog information that we got had, you know, who would be your ideal housemate? Girls Aloud. He didn't specify. He just said all 5 of them. So I think it'd be a good idea. We were talking earlier about the possibility of bringing an existing partner in there. I think that'd be a bad idea. I think this is a really good idea, though, and I think if this could happen, then that would liven things up maybe for the final week.
Or maybe just you know, get the sort of fantasy partner in there just one day at a time and then take them out.
It's a lot closer to his age as well. Obviously, Girls Aloud are a lot younger than obviously the members that are in there already. So yeah,
he does adore Caprice though, doesn't he? Let's be honest, whenever she walks past, he's just going to go. A bit of that. OK, a couple of emails here. Thank you very much, Natalie. A couple of emails here. Holly in Hampshire. Bez will probably try his luck with Caprice if Kenzie doesn't manage to get there first. Also, John continues to pick his nose like he did last night. Everyone's likely to be too grossed out to indulge in any snogging whatsoever. Sean Kearns, I think that John has a secret crush on Caprice. But sorry, John, I doubt she feels the same way. That's from Sean in Kettering. And I think John and Jermaine will get it together. If not, maybe Bridget and Jeremy Jacob in London. Caroline Stewart. Hello, Caroline.
Hi, Dermot. How are you?
Where are you calling from, Caroline?
I'm calling from London.
Hello, Caroline. How are you?
I'm not bad, thank you. Not bad.
What are your thoughts?
Well, it's a real shame because I'm a big Big Brother fan, but I don't think any of them in the house are compatible. Which is a good thing, because I'm a big fan of Jeremy Edwards. So if he got together with someone, I'd be quite sad.
You're holding out for that one yourself, right?
I am.
Of course you are. OK. So, you know, when you say they're not compatible, I mean, you know, if we were talking sort of not Big Brother, but Desert Island scenario here, and they're all washed up, and we're talking Castaway here, we're talking for quite a long time, who would be almost the most acceptable partnership for you?
Well, I don't know about most acceptable, but I'd like to see Bridget and the little one get together.
Bridget and
Kenzie.
Bridget and the little one. Kenzie's emotional learning curve with Bridget would be, you know, just
pretty sharp.
Yeah, pretty immense.
I'm not sure whether you can tell totally whether there's going to be any chemistry long term in the first couple of days. I kind of think there's things that we could see in 5 days' time. We think, oh yeah, they've always been there, but they're not so blatant now. I think they're kind of circling each other at the moment. So I wouldn't rule it out. I think some chemistry could become a bit more apparent soon. Do I think too seriously about this, Dermot? Do I think too much about this?
Even if you don't, I'm not bothered, because that's fantastic.
That's why I'm here, after all.
Exactly.
Let's face
Thank you
it.
very much. That is pretty much all we've got time for today, ladies and gentlemen. Please just thank our guests. Romeo, Lisa and Mark. We are back at tomorrow, 11 p.m. with celebrity psychologist BC Colclough and TV funny man Justin Lee Collins. You can catch up with all the action from the house later on. You see the housemates waiting through Pig's Blood, Rancid Milk and Rotten Vegetables. That's 9 o'clock, Channel 4. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.